Golf Central. Brought to you by Titleist.
It was a thrilling week in Atlanta, Georgia here at East Lake Golf Club, all leading up to today's championship battles. On the women's side, USC wins the East Lake Cup for the second time. The Trojans also victorious in 2015 in the inaugural edition. For the men, Vanderbilt captures its very first East Lake Cup title, riding the momentum of extremely strong play on Monday and Tuesday to capture this championship and dethroning Illinois for the very first time in this event. Both teams will join us live on set later in the show. Speaking of being on set, Lisa Cornwell, Charlie Reimer, undercover here. We didn't see rain during this championship, but we saw a lot of great shots, a lot of great golf. What stood out to you, Charlie?
Well, when you look at the week that Vanderbilt had, that's very bad news for the rest of the teams across the country, men's programs that aren't Vanderbilt. It's sort of like when Happy learned how to putt. Vanderbilt has done a wonderful job of getting to the top of the rankings, playing some very consistent golf year in and year out, but they just haven't had a big breakthrough win in a match play format, which of course is a format of the NCAA championship. So this is really, I think, a very good 3 days for Vanderbilt. And then when I look to USC, maybe a little bit of a similar story and maybe somewhat underperforming in match play. But when you look at Robin Ree, who had a great week, was a medalist, and Mooney He, who really had some wonderful golf in the middle and the late of her round today. On the surface, it looks like great news. It's a win, right? But those two key players are both in the finals LPGA qualifying school. And if they play well there next month, potentially looking at losing what's the heart of your lineup. So really cool golf over these 3 days at this historic place.
Considering a couple things. Number one, this is the last event for these teams for the fall portion of the schedule. They take a break, then focus on spring. And also winning an event that is match play. How much momentum can they take into spring from winning this title?
Lisa, winning is never bad. You know, you go home, and what's really neat about it for these players is they go home to their home golf course, you know, over break, and you know what, everybody saw them play. And that's something that's really special. It's certainly something that I didn't have when I played college golf. I know it was the same for you, but you know, when you go home, you won a golf tournament, and all your friends, your family, you know, they had a chance to watch it live on TV. I think that's something that sort of continues to build the confidence and momentum. And when they get into golf right after the first of the year, I know they're going to be riding high. No
doubt about it. What a great week it's been for these players and coaches, getting this win and getting the experience, as you mentioned, Charlie. We're going to have both winning teams, as mentioned earlier, with us a little later in the show, live on set. But for now, we send you to our Golf Channel headquarters in Ryan Burr.
Thanks so much, Lisa and Charlie. Once again, match play does not disappoint. When an entertaining day, and as the guys said, everyone now full steam ahead to the NCAAs coming up in the spring. Ryan Burr with Trip Eisenhower played his college golf at Georgia Tech. Jim Gallagher Jr. from Tennessee. Let's get to the highlights because we've got plenty to get to. That is for sure. Let's start on the ladies' side. That, of course, USC and Stanford. We had an idea right out of the get-go that this very first match would be huge. Aubert burned her finger on her oatmeal this morning, reported by Steve Burkowski. So there's a look at it. You wonder how that would impact things.
You definitely did. There were question marks there, but we go to the 18th hole where it comes down to, and she's got an opening right here. Now, she's one down at the time, so she's got to win this hole to go extra holes, and just a little bit too much spin, and that's a little more length of a birdie putt than she should have had from that distance.
And moral of this tale, Jim, eat cereal on game day.
That's what I'm thinking, bacon and eggs.
Plenty left, though. Ree putting for par.
Well, we saw a lot of this. These players, they're still learning. There's a learning experience, and just all you're trying to do is two-putt.
Oh, no.
Now, that was for birdie, though.
Yeah, but.
So,
right,
but remember in the individual on Monday, she ran one by about 6.5, 7 feet. Not quite this far by, and she buried it to win the individual title. And there is a key point for USC right there.
Indeed. Lady Trojans win the match 1-up and keeping the Trojans' hopes alive. Stanford leading 2-1 overall. Stanford's now Andrea Lee versus USC's Mooney He. What a match this would turn out to be. Pick up Lee at the third.
Yeah, one of the best players in amateur golf and college golf. Got off to a good start, a couple under through, or a couple up early. Look at this shot.
Sensational, right at the stick. Makes birdie. Stanford and Lee are 1-up. The 11th. He would not back down.
Pay attention, because you're going to see a lot of this on the next stretch of holes for Miss He. Right here, beautiful putt, matches line and speed.
Emotion.
And a birdie on the par 3.
And we are all square. He not done at 12.
Yeah, just a wonderful golf swing. 1, 9, 11. Now this at 12, making a run.
With that putting stroke, Jim, you just got to get it close when you're He.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
USC one up, now at 13.
All right, so we had a birdie at 11, Ryan. We had a birdie at 12. This is what you got to do to take down world amateur number 5.
What you got to do.
And boom, birdie
downtown.
at 13. That's a turkey in bowling.
Yes, 2 up. Lee would not go quietly at 14.
Well, there's a reason she's number 5 amateur in the world.
Deliberate backswing.
Wow.
And this is tracking right at the hole. Gets the kind bounce.
Phenomenal.
In close for eagle. So he would have to respond.
But wait a minute. Wait a minute. I said she was on a hot streak, right?
You did.
Well, when you're on a hot streak, you hit a lot of good shots.
Well, down grain right here. Your opponent's in there close. You know you got to hit a good shot, but can you? Will you?
Yes, sir, she does.
As good as her ball striking was, as we're watching on TV here, when she has the putter in her hand, you just want to watch this stroke.
That's how you roll the rock with the flat stick right there. I'm telling you, that's how you get it done.
5 under in her last 4 holes. Not much Lee can do.
You just got to keep grinding. You've got somebody that's made a huge comeback. What a change in momentum.
Make a birdie and you lose. Oh, my goodness.
And he would win 3 and 2, so we're all tied. Stanford 2, USC 2. Let's get to this. Madeline Chu versus Matheny. Match 5, anchor match. Matheny at the 4th.
Her second shot from wide of the mark on the tee shot. But she doesn't go wide of the mark twice. That is well done right there.
It just keeps getting better. Now it's 16.
Yeah, she was 4 down at one time here, making a run.
Ciao.
Yeah, she loses 14-15.
Gotta go. Oh. It's like Bernhard Langer on Sunday in the playoff. And you wonder how it didn't go in the cup. But USC and Matheny win 4 and 2, and the Trojans capture the East Lake Cup 3-2. Comes down to that anchor match, as good as advertised. Stanford up early, and really it comes down to Andrea Lee and Muni He, and that exhibition that he put on is something that we will talk about for years to come when we're discussing the East Lake Cup.
Yeah, well, we will. I mean, when you go 5 under par in a stretch of that few holes, it puts pressure. And you knew she had to do that on this match because you knew Lee wouldn't go away. She was going to stand there, and she did. She played well. But look, when you get beat, you get beat. I mean, you got to shake their hand and say, hey, I did everything I could. You just played better.
Well, Stanford was up early. As we went off the air in an earlier show, they were up, and they were looking like they were in command, and then it just flipped. But props to Matheny to finish it off like that. Learning experience for her, and when she needed to do it, she got it done.
And you know what? This is good news, bad news for USC. Yeah. Now, they've got Ree and He, of course, are at the finals of the LPGA Q School coming up. So, you know, this is good news that they won, but they possibly could be without those 2 stars going forward. So enjoy it while you can, at least for the Trojans.
And they will. It's always nice to end in the fall. I talked to Missy Kay and her team. You know, they just want to finish the year or the fall off on a good note, and the USC did as well. So some good golf this week for sure.
Let's take the hypothetical out about the Q School, and let's say that this USC team does come back intact. Jim, you certainly have your finger on the pulse of women's golf. A win like this, moving into the fall or moving into the spring with your eye on the NCAAs, what can this victory mean for USC?
Well, it means a lot, but you've got a lot of time off before they get back at it in February, and that's the thing. What are you going to do in the offseason? You're going to keep grinding. Now they're going to try to get caught back up in school. I know all the players are doing that all through the country. Everyone's trying to get caught up. It's a great way to end, but it starts back up the 1st of February, and that's going to be, can they take this momentum going forward? They're already a great team. We already know that. But you try to take that and go forward with it, but it happens. The tour school can change the whole momentum for the whole year. A real big swing for them.
Well, it can, but they deserve some time off. You know, go watch some football and have some fun. There's no question. But I look at this team, and if like you said, let's take the hypothetical out of it, and let's say this is the team that stays intact. This is the way she did her players, the way you put those players out there, this is a learning experience, and that's why this event is so pivotal for these coaches and how they do their lineups and match play, because these coaches do not face a lot of match play. The NCAA's in this is some of the few college golf tournaments that go to match play. I would like to see some more of these college tournaments go to a type of stroke play format for 36 holes, get seeding, and have 8 teams go into match play. The teams get more practice at it, more reps at it. It would be good for college golf.
And it is made for television. We certainly know that by now. A lot more still to come here on Golf Central from the East Lake Cup. When we come back, we take a look at the highlights from the men. Vandy and Illinois, the Illini had never lost the East Lake Cup. That is until today. Vanderbilt will tell you how they got it done. Plus, the race to Dubai is on. Here comes Justin Rose, fresh off his win in China. He's in Turkey with that guy, Henrik Stenson.
Golf Central is brought to you by the new Titleist Pro V1 and Pro V1X. Choose the best for your game. Ally, do it right.